What's up and welcome back to Naptime Builder. Well, as you can see, it's starting to get dark. But what I'm doing is I'm getting the truck and we gotta move a trailer right quick. I'll tell you why here in just a second. So what we're doing, we gotta move this trailer. I gotta mow this spot of property right here behind the shed and the chicken coop. Why? Because you've already seen the dadgum title and picture or thumbnail to the video. You know we're building another chicken coop. We're building another chicken coop for small breed chickens. Look, I didn't back up far enough. Didn't back up far enough. But build another coop for small breed chickens. So I've got, and I don't want 15 different buildings all around the property taking up all my yard. This back here is just trailer parking. So I guess some of my trailer parking is going to get taken. I'm going ahead and grabbing the trailer because I'm going to be at Home Depot in the morning as soon as they open up. And it's going to be cold, but we're going to get started. So that's what we're doing. I'll holler at you in the morning and you know, walk you along. Well, let me just show you the small chickens I'm talking about. How about that? I ain't even showed you the chickens in a while. What's up with me? So this is the back side of the run for the big chickens. There's our chicken tree. There's old Feisty butt there. Hey Feisty girl, what you doing? She's purty. She just now got put in a couple of days ago. Her and her little buddy, Dolly, right there. Just got brought in from the smaller chickens over here to be put in with the big ones. They're getting picked on a little bit. There's Dolly. She's the one that's been picking on her. There's one of the twins. There's the other twin. There's old Reba back there. And there's old Cock-a-doodle-doo. Just kidding, that's a Conway Tweety. What you doing, Feisty? Well, I had showed y'all that I had to do a little makeshift wall here with some scrap stuff, and that's also made out of scrap stuff for our smaller breed chickens. My wife calls her Pigeon. There's our pretty Roo, and that was the runt. But I'm ready to take them out of this, so I need to build them their own coop. We want to keep the smaller birds together, and we're hoping to hatch some of the smaller breed birds later on. So, but I need them a place. And back here is going to be the place because, like I said, I don't want 15 buildings all around the property. We'll start at the end of the shed down there, bring her on down. I think it'll probably end right around in here. It's going to be, we're not doing a storage for that one because we have storage in this one. So it's going to be an 8-foot wide by 6-foot coop. Have a walk-in door. I'm gonna try to learn how to build the nest that I can open from the outside. And then I'll have a 12-foot by 8-foot run. And like I said, it'll end right around in here somewhere. And then eventually the rest of this back here, we'll end up doing a greenhouse at some point. Not today. Or anytime real soon, but you know, sometime. That's the plan. Just giving you a heads up. That's what's happening, okay? So I'll see y'all in the morning when I go spend way too much money on wood. Well, I told y'all we was gonna get there when they opened, at least a few minutes after anyways. So let's go spend way too much money on wood, okay? Good morning, what's going on? Am I the only one that was at Home Depot when they opened this morning? It was daggum, man, it was dark as everything. Back roads with the trailer, pitch black dark at the morning. I'm just trying not to take out a mailbox. But anyways, we back with our wood. We're gonna start another chicken coop. What you plan on doing today? Get up and get going. Don't sit around the house watching your cartoons. Just get out there and do something. Go build something. Use your hands. Be a man. All right, y'all. I just got back not long ago from Home Depot with, you know, about $700 worth of daggum lumber. Well, that's over $100 worth of screws too. I guess we'll count that. And brackets and mess like that. Well, I told y'all we was going to be doing another chicken coop. This is the last chicken coop we called the boujee coop. It's 8 by 12 up here. 4 by 12 of that is actually storage for like the food and stuff. And then the other 8 by 8 is the actual coop. It's got the poop shelf. The boxes are in there. We did a freestanding one for the laying boxes instead of out the side or anything to get them from outside. It's a big walk-in, so you know it's easy to walk in and grab them. The run is 8 by 12, and right now it's split up into 2 because our smaller 3 birds are over here. Compost. I need to get another one of them because that is packed full. Either that or throw her on the garden over. Go ahead and throw it on the garden over here. But now we are behind the coop. What's up, Rue? Oh, Conway didn't want to talk this morning, apparently. He'll holler at me here in a second, though. But what we're going to do, that one, I told you. That one I dug some short pieces of post in the ground and then built off of it. This one, we're just going to be doing the 4x4 post on the ground. And then have it up against the back of the coop and the shed here, and then end up tying it into the shed and everything. That way, because we got a lot of room back here that I just park my trailers to be honest with you. You're gonna hear a lot of that, by the way. But so we're gonna tie it into here, that way we ain't got a bunch of different buildings all over the yard and everything taking up my yard. Okay, so we're gonna start right here at the end. The coop itself will be it'll be 8 foot out, so it'll be 6 by 8. The coop itself, we're not doing storage in this one. It's for the smaller birds. It'll be plenty big enough. And then it'll be a 12 by 8 run, so they'll have plenty of room, and we can get a bunch more of them, really, be honest with you. We'll do like 4 laying boxes, I believe that's right, what we planned on. If you ever had chickens, we got 6 in that one. They don't use all of them. I'll just go ahead and tell you, they don't use all of them. Half of them use the same daggum one all the time. But that's what we're doing. We're gonna start out with our 4x4 post laid out. I got 2 16-foot 4x4 posts. We'll lay them out. And Daddy leaving for his motorcycle ride today. But 4x4 posts laid out. I got 2 16-foots, 1 for each side, and then the rest of them are 8 foot. I'll cut them down to 4 because I need that extra 4 feet on the end to get my full 20. And then we'll do our cross braces at the end. I'm gonna cut some notches out of them to tie them together. That way they're not just butted up against each other and barely held together or anything. After we get the full floor or bottom framed up, I'll make sure that it's scooted up against that as much as possible. And then after that, we'll lay some subfloor down on it. And we'll start going up with some walls. And here's Daddy. Sounds like somebody's doing their little egg song in there. But, and that's the little Roo. But, there's one of our 16-footers. About to pull another one off. And then we'll pull our 8-foot 4x4. And, see how we want to cut them to, bring them together. I'll tell you what, I'm just getting started. But this is already distracting. But hopefully that means we're getting some eggs. Oh man. I might have to put some earplugs in. All right, y'all, so this is what I was talking about. I measured 3.5 inches because obviously these boards are 3.5 inches wide. Cut out a chunk there. I did go ahead and tie these together. These are also cut like that. Tie them together, a couple screws on both sides, and then I also put these plates on the other sides. Same thing down there. So these are 20 foot long. Did them notches, both ends, all the boards. Now I'm ready to put this one up against where it's gonna stay. And then start piecing these others together and get our complete rectangle here. Tyler over being a creeper. So let's do that. All right. You got the sniffles, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, 4 feet. Good job.
Kind of sticky, but I tried.
That'll be all right.
And 4 feet.
And 4 feet.
Of course it's 4 feet.
Got to get down there and hold it all the way level. All right, y'all, so here is the floor where all the 4x4s. Bugs won't leave me alone. Me and my man just put the braces in. And I guess now we need to dig all that wood off the top of that sheathing there. Go ahead, bud. There we go. Now we got 2 more sheets that I got to put down over, and then it'll have the floor done. You gonna do some of the other screws?
How did that happen?
Yeah. How'd what happen?
I just did this, air came out of it.
What's going on? Well, the floor's done. Little man helped me get the board, or the panel screwed down and all that. Now I'm gonna cover it with it's not technically plastic, but it's like the I guess it is kind of a plastic wrap. You know, the plastic wrap that they put around the outside of a house before they put the outer layer on. I'm gonna throw some of that down. We have it. Staple it down. Hopefully get it as smooth as I can, because we will be using sand and everything inside the coop and the run. So go ahead and do the plastic now. That way it's not as hard to do later. You know, probably still gonna be hard me doing it by myself now, but easier than it would be later. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. And then after that, I gotta take a bunch of measurements and see just how exactly high this outer wall needs to be for me to have an angle for some water to run off. Okay, so let's get to that. All right, here we are. She's wrapped. Actually, I just did one layer. That'll be plenty. It'll be just fine. And it's not all bunched up and everything like that coop is, because in that coop I didn't do the wrap before building walls. So when it gets to a point when we need to change out that sand in there, I'll go through and do that better. Plus I didn't have a staple gun that worked at the time, or staples, and I just thought about it way too late. But so when we do need to change the sand out and stuff in there, and then maybe we can do it the right way next time, because it's kind of just laid in there with sand on top of it, and then the chickens pull it up in the corners especially. But she's wrapped. Now I need to measure, because I'm wondering if I want to come off right here or just go ahead and come off here. That might not be a big enough area for me to come off of. So I might come off right under that and have this metal roofing come up right under the ledge, and then just whatever. So where's my tape measure? I'm losing everything. I'm losing everything and I'm losing it. You know, my sanity. So, all right, so this ledge, right under this ledge right here is 7 foot. Down there it's like 7 foot 2 or 3. So apparently the shed ain't the most level, or this ain't the most level, whatever. We're gonna go off 7 foot because we know it'll fit all the way down. You might be thinking, 7 foot isn't that high. I'm like 5'10", so as long as I can get in here just fine, my wife can get in here just fine. And I'm not planning on doing the roof to this as steep as the roof on that, because this will be like a mono roof, like the coop over there. So that'll just drop on this, and this will have its own slant. Might look bad to you, but that's what we're gonna do, because if I kept on with that slant, this over here would be like 3 or 4 foot high at most. So that's not happening. So let's see about some walls. Obviously you couldn't see it because I wasn't filming, and also I ain't got 14 hands, and I ain't been bothering with the tripod because the wind's still been blowing, and I ain't trying to have to buy a new phone, okay? But measure this, like I said, this is like 7 foot and a quarter right under this lip, okay? So I brought that down 3.5, maybe just a hair over 3.5 inches. It was like 6'9" is where the bottom of the joist would be, bottom of the rafter would be. Bring it across, drop it down right at a foot. Think about just doing like a 5'10" wall over here. Because anyways, on this side, over here right at this wall, it's gonna be like a poop shelf. You ain't gonna be able to get all the way at the wall anyways. So, because I'll probably bring, let's see, we'll have a door here where the ceiling's the highest. 3 or 4, probably 4, as long as I can fit them boxes here, laying boxes. Then along this wall will be the poop shelf. Maybe along this wall and have it L-shaped a little bit. And then just have a little chicken door. The run door will be right over here on the ground, obviously, so that won't be in the way of a poop shelf or anything like that. So 5'10" wall, 20 foot long. That's what I'm talking about. And then I also need to put a couple vents somewhere. Like in this one, I did 2 vent windows like this right here. I figure I might put one on this side. Hey, get out of here. But what am I thinking? Not down there, right here. Because it's only gonna be 6 foot. So one right here. And I don't know, I could do one over here. We also got some old windows. I mean, I could try to incorporate them, get a couple of them out the way, and just put some hinges on them and have the graded window. That way, if you want to vent it, then just fat finger. That way, if you want to vent it, you can just prop it open, have a little hook or something on it. That's the plan. 5'10" wall right here. We'll do it. We'll try to hang some rafters to get it tied to the building there. And then we'll end up doing 2 or 3 rows of boards across through here, just so I can tie a piece of sheathing or something up there, because I don't want to use the back of that shed as this wall. All right, so we're starting our wall. I'm going to be cutting my vertical boards at 5'7". That way, with the top plate and the bottom plate it'll equal out to 510. So start cutting some of them. I also grabbed a couple old windows over there. I'm gonna see if I can incorporate those as our windows. Hopefully make it to where we can swing them up, throw some hinges on them, and then also behind that would have the wire mesh. That way the chickens can't get to the window to like peck on it or anything, and also we can raise the window, let some air in without having just an open hole completely. So that's what we're working on. Okay. All right, so I got these outer boards tied together. So I just got a big rectangle. The inner ones are not tied in. I'm trying to figure out how I want to incorporate these windows into it. But with it only being 6 foot, I think I'm just gonna do, and plus it's not gonna be as tall as, it's gonna be the smallest one. So I'm gonna do them right at the top of the wall, basically. And then it's also gonna have overhang of the roof, so I ain't gotta really worry about the water or whatever. I don't know how much overhang just yet. But then there's only gonna be like maybe 4 inches between the 2 windows. So it'll be something like that. And then this right here, I've also got it screwed in. That is actually the end of the coop, and this starts the run. So they'll be up towards the top of the wall, and pretty much like that when we get done here. She's so little. I know it's not completely even, by the way. What does that look for?
I'm waiting for it to fall.
Hey, I got this. You know, I just keep dropping screws everywhere.
Looks fancy.
I promise you, it is by far not fancy. Gotta be the smallest wall I ever built, though.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, she ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all, so my wife is going to get the step ladder, because even though this is a short wall, I still need to be able to look on top of it to get these boards just right. But this is what we're looking like so far. This is not mounted to the wall yet, but it's mounted over there. So I just need to be able to look up there and make sure she's nice and straight before I cinch her down. And then from there, as long as I make sure this one's good and true, I can measure hopefully off of it from there and go on about our business. But this is what she's looking like. I laid her 2 windows down over here, and I put a board along the bottom after measuring. I put a cut and put a board along the bottom, and well, I also stuck a 2x4 in the middle, obviously right there. So I stuck a 2x4 in the middle, and on each end, that was the right length. And then I went ahead and measured across the bottom, making sure there was a little bit of give in there, then screwed it all together. That's what we ended up with. Then I screwed it inside our wall here, then put a couple of braces. Obviously that was just left over from the 4x4s. Why not use it? So, coop ends here. Actually a decent sized little coop for the little birds. But she gets back with that step ladder. Oh, there she comes. I'll get that level, and then and get some more up there. All right, so I've had a little bit of help and supervising So, so this is what we got so far. I've got all of the rafters up for the first 8 feet. And since I did that, I wanted to go ahead and kind of box out these 2 end walls at the very least. And now I got them boxed out. Goes all the way up, going across the bottom. There. Then same over here. And then we also added these in to make up for the thickness of the trim behind that 2x4 there. So we could put these on it. And I'm about to cut my plywood. That cover this right here. It'll be the inside wall covered for this right here. I'm gonna have to use both of them because one of them ain't gonna be enough. But then after that, all I've got left is my 10 footers and some shorter pieces that's been cut off. So after I get this OSB thrown up here, I may go ahead, if I can, and build more wall down through there. Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah, now I got stuff going. Made a lot of progress today, and like we said, this is the end of the wall here. That's the end of the coop. So it don't look that big on camera, but that is plenty for these small chickens and all that. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They're tiny, okay? They're tiny. We gotta remember that. There's our windows. They nasty. They need to be cleaned up. But you know, I'll throw some hinges on them after we get done and after everything gets covered, and we can all that mess. It's starting to get dark on me, so I'm not exactly sure how much more I'll show you today, but I'm gonna keep working until I can't work no more, okay? So yeah, boy, we're trying to get some stuff done, especially since it's gonna rain for the next 2 days. So I'm glad I did get everything covered and the water won't hurt the flooring. Not too bad for one day, but it ain't dark yet, so I'm still going. Well, it's starting to get dark on me. I just got this wall up, and then I get a text message that says my wife just hit a deer, but she don't think it did any damage. Hopefully that means she got out and looked and didn't see no damage. Lord have mercy. It's always something, always something. But she getting darker. Probably the last you gonna see of me today, okay? Good morning. How y'all doing? I'm slap wore out. I put in over 12 hours yesterday just on this chicken coop. And still out here before daylight. I think I finally went in last night like 9:30. But we did all that just yesterday. Now I'm out here listening to the roosters until it gets a little bit more light out, and I don't feel so bad about making a lot of racket. So, I mean, they don't care about making racket. Why do I care? I used some of my shorter pieces I wasn't able to use anywhere else and bunched them together. These are not supporting walls because obviously pretty much that wall and then the hangers up there, but I built this wall in. Here's where our door will be. I'll probably put another board across through there because our sand will probably be around about 2.5 inches, 3 inches deep. That way it's not in the way of the door. I got that much of the nesting boxes done. I still need to do dividers. And then once we have paneling on the outside, I can build my little slanted, or do a little slanted cover for that. And I'm gonna put a little lip across the bottom here. That way it holds the nesting pads or whatever we decide to use in. And then I also did that an extra 2x4 up under there. That way the sand wouldn't be trying to get in there or anything. Let's see here. Door. I showed you the sheathing on the inside of this will be the inside of this wall, so we won't have to put nothing else there. Just did my little chicken door. I pieced together this wall with a bunch of scraps too. But I mean, she's nice and sturdy and all that. This thing don't budge. She's pretty sturdy. Showed you my window holes there. Those are just braces for under that. So we'll have paneling. Obviously cut out the hole for that. That'll be the electric solar door on the outside. I did go ahead and build this wall all the way down and have it in. And since I did that, I ended up putting these pieces on the inside here and screwing them. That way we have good places to... Sorry about him, he's annoying sometimes. But that way I have places to secure all of my siding over here. Like we said, from here, this way is the run. This is just part of it. Thinking about doing our walk-in door right here. I don't want to put it on the end. I would put it on the end down there, just like that one's going to be down there, you know, in the taller area. But I plan on doing a greenhouse at some point down there. So I kind of don't want to, trying to think ahead. That door would be in a bad spot then. And plus I don't want to have to walk all the way around here just to be able to get in this run. So I've only got, is it 2? Yeah, I guess so. I've only got 2 10-foot 2x4s left on the trailer. But other than that little lip there and my divider for the 4 boxes, this wall's done, that wall's done, this wall's done, framing wise anyways. So I'm trying, oh my bad, 3 10-foot 2x4s. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I can do now. I'm just out here for a couple hours before I have to start getting ready for church. So I'm just trying to see if I can get anything else done, really, with what I got. And I'm running very thin on that. I might have enough plywood to finish up the lip I was talking about in front. And maybe be able to do my dividers. Not exactly sure. And there's no point in me trying to go get wood today because it's 7:46 right now. Home Depot don't open on Sundays until 8. By the time I got back with wood, I'd have to rush in, shower, and get ready for church. And plus it's gonna rain the rest of today after church and all of tomorrow basically, so I wouldn't have no time. So I'm just piddling at the moment, to be quite honest with you. But I just wanted to show you in the daylight what I was able to get done last night while it was dark. So, unfortunately, I probably won't be able to show you nothing for a couple days. That stinks. Because this is a lot of progress in one day. And I was really hoping to get 2 or 3 days of that. I mean, 2 or 3 days like I had yesterday. And I could have this thing knocked out probably, mostly. But once we do get it all covered and everything, on that inside wall there, that's towards the run, we'll do our poop shelf there. And then they'll just walk under the poop shelf to go out to the run. So, we've made a lot of progress. On the inside of the other run, I used a bunch of leftover, pre-used, crappy stuff to cover the inside walls, just to cover them. I'm not sure how much stuff I have left just laying around, so unfortunately I'll probably end up having to buy something for that. So just want to give you an update. Alright, so I'm about to go in, but I was able to get just a little bit more done. I got my boxes done, other than I'm gonna wait until we get the siding on to do the raise up flap so we can actually get them. But there's the inside. Also, I just went ahead and put that piece of metal up there. That way when I do the metal on top, that'll block a little bit of the wind coming in here, but they'll still have ventilation. And that one had been needing it, so I went ahead and threw that up there. I got to do one on the front of that coop also. But then we got this section of wall up, and I went ahead and threw another rafter up. And went ahead and got brackets for the other. And I went ahead and doubled up the 2x4s here, because this is doorway for the run, and that is the doorway for in the coop. I doubled up them 2x4s on the bottom, because like I said, it'll end up having like 2.5 inches or so of sand. Once it is all together, I will go around the inside with either 2x4 or 2x6. That way I can bring my sand up and it not come out of the coop once we put the wire on. You know, it'll raise the inside rim there up just a little bit. And then I do plan on going around the outside after we put wire up. So, there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We are completely out of wood. I used them last 3 10-foot long, do that little small wall, throw another rafter up, and threw this joist up just to have another spot to secure our siding and stuff too. So at the moment, that is all the wood that is left. So it looks like I'm done for a few days, because the rains are coming. With that being said, thanks for watching Naptime Builder. I really appreciate it. We got a lot done so far. It's gonna be a few days before I can get some more done, because like I said, the rains are coming. Y'all hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, then subscribe. If you are subscribed, I appreciate you. But still, hit that like button, send me a comment. Like we said, this is going to be for the smaller breed chickens, the bantams, stuff like that. And, you know, we're just making progress. So, y'all keep following along. because we'll be back with this one quick.